afternoon and welcome to Matters, where every issue counts and, of course, every voice matters. Right here, we'll take a deep dive, asking the hard questions and challenging the status quo. Politics, power, the pulse of the nation. No spin, no filter, just the truth that matters to you and to me as well. Now, get ready to stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay ahead. Because, of course, this is Voice of the People 90.3 FM, and we're here to give you a voice. Here on Matters, your view is not just important, it is actually the reason why we are here. Now, Matters is that show where the issues that shape our lives are broken down, discussed, dissected, and analyzed. My name is Chama Innocent. I'm your host, I'm your voice, I'm your companion through the twists and turns of politics and power. Right now, let's just cut through the noise. Let's get to the heart of the matters that moves our nation. So very soon, of course, you know how it goes on this program. You'll be able to call in, you'll be able to speak up, you'll be able to get involved because, of course, your opinion matters. Let's talk, let's question, let's uncover. This is Matters. Let's get started. Now, this is still the month of June when Nigeria's democracy is celebrated on the 12th annually. You know, it was moved from May 29 to June 12 in honor of democracy. Today, I have a guest joining me in the studio, a historian, a veteran journalist, and political affairs analyst, Mr. Dele Fanimo. He will shed light on these issues and set the record straight. Mr. Dele Fanimo, always a pleasure to have you here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Happy New Week. How was the weekend?
Oh, very well, very well.
Beautiful. I mean, well, I can't complain. Before we proceed, I'd like us to actually take a listen to the former Jigawa State governor for a few minutes so that we can actually let's know the context that we are actually talking about right here. So let's take a listen to what the former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido said. It's quite a long listen, about 5 minutes, but we need to hear this so that we can actually know where we're going to start from in dissecting these issues. This is Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Like I said earlier, very, very soon the phone lines will be open so that you can call in to be a part of the conversation. But in the meantime, let's take a listen to this because this video is literally the crux of the conversation this afternoon. Stay tuned to Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It's very important that you stay tuned because the issues we want to discuss, it concerns you. Don't say, it has passed now. It has not passed though. It has not passed at all. Nigeria's democracy, quite a number of political...
relevant and noticeable after Abiola took over government. Before then, he was the Senate. What was the secretary of the party. And with all respect to him, you see, he was part of those people who were supporting Babangida's annulment of June 12. He was part of it. His own mother, Haja Mogaji from Lagos, was organizing Lagos market women to come to Abuja to pledge, support for Babangida. I'm saying this because it's simply history. I mean no harm. I mean don't mean to embarrass him. But then you see, he was actively handing gloves to Babangida. Now, when Babangida saw the fact that he was having a problem with the party, he went to the National Assembly to address them. One infamous speech was, they are trying to incite you. It is you they are against. Tinubu was there. And IU became very, very firm and straight on the issue of June 12. He called a meeting, then being the only senior elected person in government at that time, as Senate President. He convened a meeting in Edo, in Benin. We went there with the governor, where we went there and reaffirmed our commitment to June 12. All right? Babangida was so angry with IU. When he came by, he removed him and put in a better arrow. He put him there so that so that they can be aligned to Babangida, political kind of machinations. So when Tinubu today, after being a general president, decided to rewrite history, trying to maybe deconstruct history and then rewrite it, then it is very, very amusing because he was part of the Babangida support of June 12. He was part of it. Now it was only when Abiola took over government that Tinubu then became a so-called activist of June 12. Not only him, all those who are talking about June 12 in Edeko, I mean no harm, I mean no disrespect. I'm simply saying what happened during that time. All of them, those who were in Edeko, where were they on June 11? They had no part in June 12. They are not part of June 12 campaign. They are not part of the June 12 activities. What are they are never, because most of them are saying they should down look. All of them. Because they don't believe that you won't work out. So when Abiola won the election, and then after the annulment, they are all very, very passive. But suddenly, after Abacha came on board, removing Sonekam, they became activists. They formed NEDECO. NEDECO was opposed to Abacha, was opposed to election formation. NEDECO was something which was formed, to fight Abacha, not to fight democracy, not to fight for June 12. So whatever Tinubu is doing today is simply reconstructing history the way he thinks it's going to fit his own political interests. But then obviously, he was a major supporter of Babangida. Ask Babangida. Ask him. So when you talk about, already June 12, what are those characters? Ebote Ere, somebody who replaced Ayu for June 12? Who are the others? All of them. So he ran away. We stayed behind. We fought Abacha. I was detained, because of my fight, but I was detained. He was detained. So all of us, Adam Churuma, Bola Ege, Yoche Ayu, and many others, Bagaji, all of them were pedigree, holding political history, who are not known as freedom fighters, are now at the forefront fighting for Nigerian democracy. It's so laughable.
Thank you for staying tuned. You're still listening to Matters right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. The voice you just heard belonged to former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido. And if you're listening from the beginning, honestly, he said a lot. He talked about how President NEDECO was formed to oppose Abacha, how President Tinubu then ran away and came back when the coast was clear, that he was not actually in support of Abiola and in fact betrayed him, and instead he was in support of Babangida then, but was acting like he was in support of the freedom fighters. He mentioned quite a number of names, saying, these are the people who were the real freedom fighters. These are the people who actually worked to ensure that Nigeria became a democratic nation and has remained so. He went ahead to say he feels highly entertained by President Tinubu's rhetorics, saying he's trying to rewrite history, and those who don't know history are the only ones who can be swayed by these rhetorics. Now, I did introduce Mr. Dele Fanimo to you earlier, and Mr. Fanimo, thank you again for joining us today right here on Matters, right? As the name of the show implies, there are always a lot of matters to discuss. Today, the matter to talk about is that of June 12th. The last Democracy Day celebration, June 12th, a number of opposition politicians came out to talk about how democracy is dead in Nigeria. This current administration is not helping Nigeria's democracy. Some of them talked about, how President Tinubu, who was then seen as a hero of Nigeria's democracy, is almost now being painted as the villain now that he is the president. In all of this, you're a historian. You're someone who knows about these things. You have been a journalist for many years. You've covered these issues over and over again. But I will start with the question. The first thing to note is that the 2027 elections are around the corner. The opposition is doing everything it can to discredit President Tinubu and the current administration. Could this be one of those tactics, to discredit his contributions to Nigeria's democratic struggle, to Nigeria's democratic landscape, especially when Sule Lamido says he will welcome any platform at all to remove President Tinubu?
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying that politicians, when they talk as much as to favor their idiosyncrasies, and they forget that some of us have not really suffered collective amnesia, and unfortunately, because of this kind of rhetorics, they obliterated history from curriculum for about 15 years. And I tell you, I was one of those people that fought with the pen, writing editorials, writing articles, doing features on why history must be restored. So you find out that a lot of people cannot really read between the lines when these politicians begin to talk. Talk is cheap, and you can revisit history, and with your own coloration, with your own perspective, with whatever other means you want to apply. But the point is, you see, we have not practiced democracy. The simple definition of democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people. That is, there is inclusion. and inclusion is of the people. That means legitimacy, sovereignty will be derived from the people. And what do they mean by the people? You have the power, which is your ballot paper, to decide who you want to be there. That is by the people. We are the ones to choose. Then for the people, the good of the majority should be at the heart of those who are governing. But when you look at these three, can we safely say we have practiced any of these three steps? And so if we cannot beat our chest and say, well, the starting point is we are supposed to collectively make the Constitution. But few people sat down, no input, no plenary, no discussion, and they coined out a constitution for us that still have embedded in it the exclusivity of major drivers of economy. Just because those who sat down to write this constitution at that time were people from a section of the country, majority of them were from the section of the country that believes that this constitution must be crafted to favor that particular section. Now, that is of defeated. Now, by the people, show me any election since 1999. Show me any election since 1999 that had been adjudged as credible, fair in this country. None. That is why, up until today, and probably tomorrow, people will still contest victory. People will still contest outcome of elections because it is most times not by the people. Now, coming to for the people, how many people, either policy design, implementation, protection, welfareism, show me the number of people that are benefiting from our democratic experience. People languish. As a matter of fact, it is a sin, not a crime, but a sin to be Mr. Nobody in Nigeria today. And that's not what democracy should be. You can't tell me, if you know the number of people that are in prison today that never committed offenses just because somebody who had acquired power for power's sake had trampled upon that person's rights and perpetually kept that person in prison for no just cause. Only few of them that are lucky come out of this alive. And so, technically, we don't have democracy. We only have pseudo-democracy powered by unitary system, where Abuja would dictate to you when you need borehole, it would rather construct road. Where you need the closest primary health care center to your village, they will give you solar power, borehole. So there is a disconnect between the leaders and the led, and that is not democracy. So, like it or not, the truth is we are not in democracy. Now, to 2027, it's a rat race, as it is now. It's a rat race. People go all out just to acquire power, to grab and run with it. Ask some of these people that are going to National Assembly, Presidency, governorship, they are contesting all these elections, members of the House of Assembly, local government chairmen, councillors. Ask them, can you show me your blueprint? After all, if you want to do a business, you do a blueprint. You do a roadmap. Okay, I want to start this business with 500,000 naira. And these are the products or services I want to engage in. In 1 year, I should be in AYZ. In 2 years, I should move up to this level. In 5 years, all things being equal, I should be here. That is simple SME business plan. Now, somebody is going to sit atop trillions of naira for the 4 years as governor, hundreds of trillions of naira as president for first 4 years. He doesn't have a blueprint. He just catches his fancy. I have loose wealth. I have deep pockets. Can't I become governor? To do what? Somebody wants to become a governor. He doesn't even know the population of that state. He doesn't know the demography of that state. How is he going to? And that's why you see them. For every 4-year lifespan of a politician, he has only 2 years to govern. The last 2 years, especially if you are seeking a re-election, is politics.
It's for campaigning. All right. You in your analysis, you've established the fact that Nigeria doesn't have a democracy.
No,
what we have is a pseudo-democracy.
Pseudo-democracy.
But even in this quote and unquote pseudo-democracy that we have, let's talk about the role that President Bola Tinubu played in it, right? Now, this particular video has garnered a lot of reactions from Nigerians in the past 24 hours, right? Ever since he came out. Now, there are people who feel that, oh, he's misinformed. He's trying to spread the wrong information, trying to whip up a different agenda from what really happened. Now, I want to take some of his statements and I want you to dissect them. He said, Nadeko was formed to oppose Abacha. He also said that President Tinubu ran away and came back when the coast was clear. He went ahead to say that President Tinubu was hand in gloves with Babangida while pretending to actually support the June 12 course. As someone who was knowledgeable about the events of that time, would you agree with him?
I won't agree with him.
Okay.
Now, let's start with Nadeko and Abacha. Don't forget that Tinubu was a senator in 1991, Dayaki government, that brought about the election of June 12. He was already a senator. So he's been in politics even before Abacha came into the scene. That's one. Two, Tinubu was part of SDP, the vehicle that brought in the candidacy of MKO Abiola. You recall that Babangida banned old politicians during his reign, and that he wanted new breed politicians to emerge. So effectively, that was why the likes of Yaradua couldn't contest that election. The SDP and NRC was a creation of Babangida. It wasn't as if there is a political party that was registered.
The SDP was created by Babangida.
SDP and NRC, he created the two parties. So if you believe that you are onto the right, you go to NRC. If you are these conservatives, if you are the progressive on the left, you go to SDP. And that was why the likes of Babaja Singh, Babaja Konde, and the rest of them, and a whole lot of them, even Yaradua, Musa Yaradua, the senior Yaradua, not the one that died as president, were there. They emanated from People's Front that was created by Sheikh Musa Yaradua. And the other one, I think PSP, I can't remember the name properly now, was created by the likes of Baba Tokpe, Ebenezer Baba Tokpe, Baba Jasin, Baba Layonde, and some few elements in the north and all that. So they are just coalesced, these two political parties that were in the making but not registered. And that was what brought about SDP. And so when Babangida created his own SDP and NRC, a little to the right, a little to the left. Those progressives, or let me use the word so-called progressives, they moved en masse to SDP. And then the conservative North pitched their things in NRC, and you have Tofa as the presidential candidate. Now, when SDP was formed, this current man, former governor of Jigawa State, was at the convention of that party, nominated, and he won as secretary, national secretary of SDP. I'm sure those who understand history will follow me as I'm explaining it. You know? And I've forgotten this man's name now, who became the chairman of that party now. I've forgotten. Is it Tony Anini? I can't remember. You know? And he became the party's chairman. So this was how SDP was formed. And SDP, Tinubu was already in SDP when Abiola got the ticket. So Tinubu is not a novice to politics, though he may not have played that politics at the level that he is today in Nigeria. And so when the announcement came, everybody dispersed. And some people went to the trench. And of course, Tinubu had his war chest such that he felt that he needed to relocate out of the country because he was also one of the people that were wanted by the goons of General Sani Abacha. So he relocated out of this country when they started killing the likes of Alfred Riwani, Omashola, and all the rest. He went on exile. And majority of people that were really tormenting and harassing Abacha during his reign, they were being supported in exile by Tinubu, and they can attest to it. It was
they were
like
being
major
supported with what? Logistics funds,
even the radio that Fayemi, that was how he got to meet Fayemi now, former governor of Ekiti State. The radio station, Kudirat Radio, was being sponsored by the likes of, initially it was Alfred Riwani, because he also has a deep wallet. But as soon as he was killed, and that was why they were hunting those people that they consider as the brain box of the movement. Activists were there, and they were backing up the activists with funding. When Wole Soyinka went into exile, when the likes of Fayemi went into exile, they connected with Tinubu, and Tinubu couldn't have stayed behind in Nigeria, and he wouldn't have been brought down. And
so that was why he had to go on exile.
That he has to go on exile.
So he didn't run away.
No,
as
he
Sule
didn't.
Lamido is claiming.
No.
And came back when the coast was clear.
No. He was in the trench with activists and important people that were at the forefront of, and he was connecting with them as soon as he provided safe haven for them outside this country. So now Tinubu came back to the scene in 1997-98, and he picked up the ticket of AD, Action for Democracy, and the rest, as we say, is history. So if some of these people that were active participants in the build-up to the election in 1993 and the subsequent annulment in 1994 up to 1998, some of them are still alive, and I'm sure in due course they would clarify some of these things. But as far as I know, I'm just giving you a snippet of this, and that is not to say that it could look as if some players, because they ran away for their lives, and because the adage is, he who fights and run lives to fight another day. Perhaps if the likes of Alfred Ruwani, the likes of Pa Adesanya, whose life Pa Adesanya was shot several times, he didn't die. But Ruwani was not lucky, and some other people were not lucky in the process. Even journalists were killed during Abacha's era. Bagalda Kato was bombed in Kano, and a whole lot of others. The likes of Fayemiwo, Kunle Ajibade were incarcerated for many months on end and all that. So perhaps if Tinubu had been around then, or his colleagues that ran away, if they were around, they would have been killed. They would have become history as part of June 12th history. So he
had to leave to preserve himself.
Yeah, he has to leave. So
you're tuned into Voice of the People 90.3 FM. This is Matters, and we're talking about the matters that concern you and I right here on the show. Of course, this is the #1 station that gives you a voice all over the world. So at some point in the conversation, you'll be able to call in and actually be a part of it. We definitely want to hear from you. If we don't hear from you until again, okay? So we're talking about Nigeria's democracy, the struggle for democracy, where we are coming from, where we are right now, and where we're going. Sule Lamido, former Jigawa State Governor, has come out to accuse President Tinubu of being one of the people who is trying to rewrite history, who supported the June 12 annulment and is lying about it. And he says that Babangida can actually testify to that he was working in cahoots with President Tinubu. It was recently that Babangida came out to say, to reveal during his book launch that actually MKO Abiola won the June 12th election. Abacha wanted it or not. He didn't really support it, but he just had to go along with it. And just a whole lot of what many Nigerians were saying that they already knew. If indeed he was working hand in hand with President Tinubu, how come he didn't make that known while he was telling us all this?
Exactly. Though I didn't trust Babangida enough to believe most of the things he wrote in that book. He was just trying to deodorize his atrocities for people to accept, to buy into it. But then I can assure you that Babangida couldn't have been speaking. Babangida is too suave. It's too clever for an Abacha to usurp his powers.
So you don't agree
as commander-in-chief?
You don't agree with what he said about, literally him more or less pushing the blame to Abacha?
Yeah, because he's dead.
And he can't defend himself.
And he can't defend himself. Why didn't he tell us this before Abacha died? Look, military is not like civilian government where you have the vice president that maybe, if you allow him, that when Atiku almost usurped the power of Obasanjo between 2001 and 2003, when he almost toppled Obasanjo, and Obasanjo couldn't do anything. He had to beg him before he could be given ticket to run the second term. No, in the military, you watch the lips of the C&C before you even take a stand. And if you look at what happened to Ebitu Ikue now, under Babangida, just because that man said this thing is not right. And what happened? It was on the radio that he got the announcement that he has been removed as deputy to Babangida. So what are we talking about here? For an IBB that is so clever, that has always been a part of any coup since 1966.
So when the former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido is saying, Tinubu's rhetorics are entertaining, he's trying to rewrite history, he is the one who is actually trying to rewrite history, according to you. That's Sule Lamido.
He was not speaking the whole truth.
But he says he was there, he was part of the struggle, he was one of the freedom fighters. And that's the reason why he can actually come out today to say that this lie, that's what he considers to be a lie, has been allowed to fester for too long.
That's why I said, within the closet where they sit, whatever would have happened, we may not know. And it's for Tinubu to come out, and I'm sure he will come out very soon to state his own case. But the point is, anything can happen during the election period. Lies can be told. You can't, even your father can tell you that he's not your father just for political gain and that you should go for DNA, even when he knows that he is your father. So, for me, I am not going to represent Tinubu to that extent. But activities around Tinubu, especially during Nadeko time, Nadeko period, till this new dispensation, this Fourth Republic, was very clear to everybody. And that he never just escaped for escaping sake. He stood out there and he was funding and financing Nadeko. Anybody that was very active in Nadeko there will know that Tinubu was one of the major financiers of Nadeko.
But with all of these fights and with, what you said that he was able to do and achieve in that time, how come, according to you, we still do not have that strong democracy in Nigeria, that what we have is pseudo-democracy?
You see, another thing again is that democracy evolves from culture, norms, tradition, and values. Tinubu cannot do it alone. He has members of the assembly to contend with. He has ministers to contend with, particularly the National Assembly members who are supposed to give him support in certain areas to correct the wrongs. But we have been so polarized along cleavages that we may not get out of the woods. If you say anything now, somebody from the north will stand up and say, no. Their no is not that thing you want to do is not right, but their no is because it will affect their people. Look at the tax reform. As soon as it was out, Undume, who just saw the back cover without reading the content, even the intro, went all out and started spitting fire. Today is in that house, and those bills, the 4 bills, had passed through first and second reading. So that's for you to know that it's not a tea party in a democracy. For instance, people are campaigning all about now. We want to create an Neoma state. We want to create a Dada state. We want to create... It's a lie. It's just political campaign. It's like a camel passing through the eye of a needle to create a state under a democratic dispensation, and with the prevailing constitution, 1999 constitution as amended, working, it's near impossible. Because if I am from the southwest, I want to have Ibadan state, I want to have BOMBSHELL state, I want to have Ekpe state. That's for state. Because the constitution says you have to lobby at least to get the buy-in of 2/3 of the state assemblies. Now, if you are bringing a proposal for 4, knowing full well that the military had incapacitated the South against the North has 19 states and the South has 17 states. And Abuja, when you factor Abuja, it becomes 20 for the North. Now, you want to create additional 4 states for the Southwest. How many states do you think the North will require from you? They will be requiring 16 because they want to widen the gap. It is not as if those states are viable. Even the existing states, some states are not viable. Shut the tap of federal allocation for just 2 months. Some states will beg to be merged with their contiguous states.
They will not be able to function.
They can't function.
From their internally generated revenue.
They can't function. So, now, where do you go from there? It means it is not possible, but people will come out and begin to mouth, we are creating this, we are creating that, we are creating Okegun, we are creating Olu State. No. We are not going to have anything to do with Olu anymore. Bladadash.
All right, let's quickly take a look at the presidency's response to the former Jigawa State governor. The presidency has debunked the claims about President Tinubu, of course, saying that it is actually former Governor Sule Lamido who is attempting to rewrite history with his claims of the role played by President Bola Tinubu in the June 12 struggle. The presidency stated that the claim by Lamido that President Tinubu supported the annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, or that his mother, because you heard that part where Sule Lamido said that his mother Alhaja Abibatu Mogaji mobilized market women to back the annulment. The presidency has said this was totally false, that President Tinubu was among those who supported the annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election. Speaking during an appearance on TV on Saturday, Sule Lamido did allege that Hajia Mogaji organized market women from Lagos to come to Abuja and show support for the then head of state. That's Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, popularly known as IBB. He did berate the president, saying he's just dramatizing and exaggerating the role he played in Nigeria's democracy, and Nadeko was formed to fight for Abacha and not for June 12. The presidency has released a response through the special advisor to President Tinubu on information and strategy, that's Bayo Ononuga. The presidency has accused Lamido of attempting to distort history with his claims. Well, the presidency goes ahead to say Alhaji Lamido's claims represent a distortion of history, a regrettable attempt at revisionism. He alleged that President Tinubu only rose to prominence after the formation of NADECO and claimed that Tinubu's mother mobilized market women to back the annulment. These allegations are patently false. Now, he says, Odonuga says, let us set the record straight. Alhaja Mogaji never mobilized market women to support the unjust annulment. Had she done so, she would have lost her position as market leader in Lagos. While she once had a personal relationship with then President Babangida, this was before the annulment crisis. Ononuga further claimed it was the former Jigawa State governor and his SDP that teamed up with other anti-democratic forces to deny MKO Abiola his victory in the 1993 election. This Sule Lamido really play any role in the annulment of the election? I mean, like Ononuga is trying to claim.
Well, the truth is,
or they are just trading blames and accusations back and forth.
The truth is, that's why I said earlier that those who are in the closet will know each other's roles. But there's no way Lamido will be off the track, because he was the national secretary of SDP when that annulment was made. And there is no account of him either supporting the annulment or working against the annulment. You understand? So it's a difficult thing for me to say here. Whatever I'm saying here that is not known to the members of the public will be just guesswork. And I may not be right. And of course, I may be right. And I won't sit here and begin to profile what I don't know much about. But it is for those who are there at that period that, okay, look at Baba Gana Kingibe, the running mate of MKO Abiola. Before Abiola's death, he had started romancing the powers that be, even while the annulment was still being contested. And subsequently, he had served in some other government. So, the likes of Ebenezer Babatokpe, even some other people, like Abimbola David. Abimbola David, till he died, I knew him in Ibadan. He usually comes to a recreation club. He was practically ostracized for his role in ABN. He was hand in gloves with Aton Zeribe and some other people that went to get the annulment of that election. And Abimbola David never survived it till he died. He was rendered incommunicado. He was rendered he was treated like an outcast while he lived. So, if Abibatu Mogaji had done what the Lamido man claimed she did, I'm sure she wouldn't have survived it the way she lived peacefully till she died.
Did Lamido oppose the annulment of the election as much as other members of NADECO did?
That's what I'm saying, that I don't know. I can't lay as soon as I saw his report, I went online and I was asking if there was any comment made by individuals that were clear leaders or active participants in the June 12 annulment. His name didn't come up. So he might just be a passive watcher of events as they unfold. But I've not seen anywhere where it was written that he openly dissociated himself, because he at that time, he had a critical role to play as the national secretary of a party that won an election and was denied the victory of that election. So
he wasn't as vocal as the others.
He wasn't.
So you're saying right now he's not one to talk.
He wasn't.
All right, fast forward from 1993 to where we are right now, 2025. This hero, quote unquote, of democracy, somebody that fought so much to ensure that Nigerians have a right to vote, that we have this democratic system that we're practicing and I dare say enjoying today, is now in power. He's now the president. And a lot of people have accused him, a lot of opposition figures and former allies have accused him of undermining Nigeria's democracy, of not actually running Nigeria like a democratic country. He's been accused of being autocratic, dictatorial, and of being totally averse to dissent from opposing voices, journalists, and other people who can actually call out the presidency or call out this administration. Why does there seem to be a difference from the accounts that, those of us who are just coming up now, who probably were not born then or were still young and that don't really understand that, and were thought that, this man fought for Nigeria's democracy, but are now experiencing his presidency, and it seems to just be A and B.
You see, let me answer your question straight. You see, politics and governance is not the same thing. Politics is for contestation for power, whereas governance is about implementing policies and making life more abundant for the people who voted for you. And that's what they call dividend of democracy. So as it is today, as at today, I will give the president pass mark when it comes to politics. But governance, on the scale of 10, I won't give him more than 3. Now, it is now left for those handlers or himself to explain why he couldn't pass in governance as much as he passed and has been passing in politics. And I'm sure one of the things they will tell us is that the complexity of this country that had been divided by religion and ethnicity may not have impacted rightly on his plans and mission for the country. But that is not to say that he has done very well on that turf. I want to tell you that. So,
Mr. Dele Fanimo, thank you so much for joining me. I just cannot help but be grateful, because I know, what it took you to get here this morning and the distance that you're coming from. We've passed the agreed time. Okay, so from this moment, I'm going to let you go and then continue the conversation with the audience on the other side of the microphone. Mr. Fanimo, thank you so dearly. I hope you enjoy your week. You look like you had a great weekend, though.
Maybe.
This is your maybe. We'll talk about that later, Mr. Dele Fanimo. Thank you so much for joining me on Matters this afternoon.
Can I just listen to your comments?
Sure, of course. I wanted to release you so that you can rest, though.
No.
If you stay back, I will ask the question, you will answer.
No, you won't ask me questions. I just want to stay back and listen.
All right, then. There were actually a few comments I wanted you to answer to, but I wanted to release you, Mr. Fanimo. You will answer question.
I will answer question.
So let's just continue. This is Matters on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Quite a number of people have been leaving comments on YouTube and sending messages on WhatsApp. We do appreciate that. This is the point where you get to call in to be a part of the conversation. I know that there are quite a number of people out there who know Nigeria's history, who understand the events that happened as at that time. The younger ones want to know. We have a lot of youths who are right now very interested in Nigeria's politics. They want to know where we're coming from, to know why we are where we are right now, and to deduce if there is any hope for Nigeria's democracy in the future. And honestly, I am one of them. All right. The number you can send a message to on WhatsApp is 0817 175 6338. Okay, 0817. Please put that down because quite a number of people have accused us of being too fast with the numbers. 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. You can send a message on WhatsApp, and of course, I'll take your message before the end of the program. We're streaming live on YouTube, VOP 903 FM, VOP 903 FM on YouTube. If you go there, you can actually get to be a part of the conversation. You can leave a comment. You can watch live in case you want to see what our studio setup looks like, or you want to put a face to the name, or you want to put a face to the voice, you want to put faces to the voices that you have been hearing on your radio set, right? You can head on over to YouTube, VOP 903 FM. Now the number to call to actually reach us directly in the studio to contribute to the conversation is 0803 692 9933. 0803 692 9933. Call the number. You can be a part of the conversation this afternoon. I want to hear from you. My name is Chioma Innocent. What's your name and where are you calling me from? Good afternoon. Welcome to Matters. How are you doing today? Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
How are you doing? What's your name and location, please?
Yes, my name is Peter from Isola.
Welcome, Chika from Isola. Thank you so much for calling. Please go right ahead. You have 1 minute.
Yes, straightforward. I want to tell your guests there that, with all due respect, that both politics of governance has failed woefully.
Come again.
Both politics and governance, the president has failed woefully.
In both politics and governance?
He has failed woefully.
Okay.
So there's no two ways at that. Because in politics, you clear the hurdle in politics and give a governance. Both of them have never done anything in it. So he has failed woefully. That's my submission.
That's all you have to say. Thank you so much for your call. 0803 692 9933. 0803 692 9933. Hello and welcome to the conversation right here on Matters. What's your name and location?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing? Hello, are you there? All right, give me a call back. 0803 692 9933. Hello.
Hello, Choma. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing? What's your name and location?
Thanks for me, Choma.
Welcome, Ben. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Go right ahead.
Happy to hear your voice again.
Thank you.
Choma, Mr. President, what you're supposed to be talking about is how the appointment of INEC chairman should not be on the table of Mr.
So
Chairman.
you don't care about June 12 and Nigeria's democracy?
Can you see this Abiola Tinubu matter? It doesn't concern me. I'm telling you. Two of them are the same. It doesn't concern me.
You really?
When they go to settle their matter, that one doesn't make any sense. It's a dead matter.
Thank you, Ben.
What they're talking about is the appointment of INEC chairman. Let them remove it from the table office of
if he's removed, is he not the president that will still appoint another INEC chairman? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your call. I do appreciate you. 0803 692 9933. Call me up. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and location, please?
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I can hear you.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I can hear you. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Taiwo. I'm calling from Maryland.
Welcome, Taiwo. Thank you for calling. Please go right ahead. You have 60 seconds.
Yeah. Let me speak concerning about what you are saying now.
Okay.
My regards to your colleagues there, sir.
Thank you.
Now, there's something I want you to understand, Madam Chairman. In this country now, with all this what we are facing now, can you ask all those our government now, including started from the president now, is there anybody have a mind of Nigeria? Is there anybody have a plan for Nigeria? Is there anybody want Nigeria to become one? There's nobody among of them. All of them are looking for what they are going to eat. Concerning about the Abiola or June 12 in 1983, there's something I want you to understand. If I say something, my sister, you see, it's only Yoruba people used to forget something. I want you to know that
excuse me, did you just say it's only Yoruba people that used to forget something?
Could you believe that Abiola, that everybody is following now, is among of those people who saying that Awolowo can never become a president in Nigeria? because we are forgetting what Abiola is the one of people that saying that Papa Awolowo can never become a president in Nigeria. But it is not come his turn now that he wanted to become a president. He wanted to become a president that time. He doesn't know that our Babangida is going to betray him because it's a friend to Babangida to the core. There is no coup that happened in Nigeria. Hello?
I can hear you. I can
Hello?
hear you, Mr. Taiwo. I can hear
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I
There
can
is
hear you, Mr.
something-
Taiwo. Please
there's
round
no
up.
coup. You said what?
Please round up. I can hear you. Please
Okay,
round
there's
up.
something I want you to know. It's only if you want to forget something that has passed. Let's take a fresh something to make Nigeria forward. There's no coup that happened in Nigeria which Abiola doesn't know about it.
Are you
So
serious?
we should let us forget.
But don't you think that with all of these things that you have enumerated, that they are making you biased towards a man who is no longer alive?
It's like we are just putting fire. We are just putting a stick on top of food and sleeping inside.
Thank you,
Let's come
Mr.
together.
Taiwo. Thank you,
Let's
Mr.
come
Taiwo.
together and make Nigeria
Thank you
forward.
so much. Thank you so much. Just before you go, please hang on a second. Just before you go, can you hear me?
I should hold on.
Yes, please hold on. You made a statement during, during your everything you were saying, and I know that you're giving your opinion. But when you say in this country is only Yoruba people that used to forget something in regards to politics, all right, that is a generalization and a stereotype that really should not be happening. I know your name is Taiwo. You probably belong to this tribe, so you feel like there's nothing wrong with calling out your own people, but you can still be tribalistic towards your own people. So let's just try to be very open-minded and very objective in our assertions and our speech and our opinions. Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Do have an amazing day. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. I'm taking your calls right here on Matters. Hi there. My name is Chioma Innocent. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
Hello, it's Chioma Innocent. Thank God I get you people today. You pick my call.
It's so great to hear from you. What's your name and location, please?
Okay, my name is Tinubu. I'm calling from Egbeda Kumwanji.
Welcome to the conversation. Thank you for calling.
Okay, fine. Yes. Thank God he said that he don't know anything about what that happened that time.
When did he say that?
When did he say that? He mentioned something like that. Maybe if he
doesn't know anything about it, will he be able to give
Okay,
analysis?
fine. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, talk your own.
Abiola, you are saying you people that are talking about June 12. Abiola sponsored IBB for the queue. Abiola sponsored Idiabo for the queue.
Really?
Are you getting me now? Where I'm calling two people now. He's the one that sponsored Idiabo's queue. He's the one that sponsored IBB queue.
To what end?
I don't have credit. My credit will soon finish.
Chinedu, before your credit finishes, to what end? If you're saying that he sponsored these queues, to what end?
To the final, he sponsored Idiabo and he sponsored IBB. That is Abiola himself.
Why? So that they can take over power and they can take over and hand the power over to him or what?
That is when I will get credit and they call you
All
back
right,
and
call
tell
me
you
back.
the reason.
I definitely want to hear from you. If you cannot reach us, please send a message on WhatsApp, okay? 0803-692-9933. It's exactly 2:30 right here on the number one station that gives you a voice. The conversation continues. This is Matters, where we dissect the issues that concern you, the issues that concern me. We're talking about the past, to spotlight the present, and to predict the future. This is Matters. Let's continue the conversation. Hello, what's your name and location? Turn down the volume on your radio set. All right, give me a call back. We have some messages on WhatsApp. To send a message on WhatsApp, it is to 0817-175-6338. 0817-175-6338. Hello. How are you doing? It's so wonderful to hear from you. It's so great to hear your voice.
Remy.
I know. Welcome to the conversation. Thank you for calling.
Thank you very much. I'm calling from London. Okay. Can I continue?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you.
You see, over the years, we, people of my generation, were meant to believe that Nadeko was a force for good. And right now, we can confirm that Nadeko have been a defeated purpose, okay? Because those who run Nadeko then, little did we know that many of them were double agents. They claim to be activists in the open, and in their closets, they wine and dine with our oppressor. They confess Jesus and their savior, but still keep the phone number of the devil in their diary. That's what we are seeing. And when you consider how Abiola himself was, and I've always believed that Abiola should not be considered as hero because he was part of those boys, those military people who messed us up. He was their friend. And there has never been a single piece of evidence that showed that he stood for the people. It was when they wouldn't let him have a big share of the cake that he now considered himself a victim. So for me, I'm not surprised that Bola Tinubu is not even adhering to tenet of democracy. If you go and do your proper research, and I put it to your audience out there, if you go and study many of these key figures in Nadeko, I'm not calling name, some of them were sponsored by CIA. Was partly sponsored by CIA. Evidence are there. Check it. I'm not calling names. So for me, I think we've got nothing to be grateful for.
We've got nothing to be grateful for. Really?
Yes, regarding Nadeko. Nothing. Because there's no evil that the Nadeko fought against that they've not perpetrated when they find themselves in power. Some of their key members, don't check. When they have access to power, they mess it up. And that is why I am not expecting anybody that will lead Nigeria to have this activist mentality. Because oftentimes we realize that activists of yesterday are the oppressors of today. Give an active. That's why I don't believe in Sule. I believe he's a good activist, but I'm scared if he has access to power. Because activists that have access to power did worse.
So for you, activists should be separated from politics, should be separated from governance. Thank you so much, Mr. Remy, for your call this afternoon. I do appreciate you. 0803 692 9933 0803 692 9933. Hello, welcome to the conversation. How you doing?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Michael from Alagbado.
Welcome, Michael. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
I wanted to respond to what Sule Lamido said about Tinubu being one of those who psychophants. I don't know if you have ever listened to the interview of MKO Abiola. Go and listen to MKO Abiola. Google it. You will hear a lot.
Please turn down the volume on your radio set. You're echoing in the background.
You hear a lot. So many things. Yinka, before his death, exposed so many things about Tinubu.
Please turn down the volume on your radio set. Turn down the volume on your radio set.
Sorry.
Thank you. That's okay. Please conclude.
Listen to like I said, listen to MKO Abiola. Google it. You will hear his interview. He says so much that it seems Nigeria has forgotten. MKO Abiola was part of those who were part of those who fought who were part of Nadeko. He was member of the military. Before he died, he said so much about Tinubu's role, about June 12. He was part of those who were dining with Nadeko in the morning, and in the night he was sitting down with Abacha. God bless you.
Thank you for your call. I do appreciate you, Michael, for calling. Let's take some of your comments on YouTube and also some of your messages on WhatsApp. Beginning from some of the first few messages that we got. Choma, today is my son's birthday. Precious Chidera Owa, aka Prof. Help me wish him happy birthday. Elder Deacon Owa. For Mafaluku Oshodi. Okay, happy birthday to you, Precious Chidera Owo. I hope you have an amazing day today, and I hope the rest of your life is the best of your life. Thank you so much, Daddy. That's so beautiful. Good afternoon, Choma Dandi Chinoye. Thank you so much. Even Nadeko has casted doubt on the integrity of Bola Tinubu in fighting for democracy. Does Bola Tinubu govern Nigeria as a Democrat? He also said, Your guest in the studio is being smart by half. We all know that Abiola was betrayed by certain persons very close to him. And who was that man that was close to IBB and MKO? Fill in the blanks yourself. Mr. Vanimo, who was that man that was close to both IBB and MKO at the same time? Who might have betrayed Abiola? Who are the certain persons that you think Anthony Famidimu is talking about? Mr. Vanimo. Who are the people that you think, Anthony Famidimu is saying that Abiola was betrayed by certain persons very close to him. And he's also asking, who was that man that was close to IBB and MKO? Like at the same time, close to IBB and also close to MKO. He's saying, fill in the blanks. Who do you think this person is talking about?
I don't really know. Since you have said I'm clever by half, you should disclose that. You should disclose
Okay, Tinubu is good in bad politics, not good one. He's failed in both politics and governance. He won as Lagos State Governor because Funshaw Williams, who's supposed to contest against him, was assassinated. And the election was highly rigged in his favor of Festus from Alakwere. Okay, this person says, good afternoon, Chairman. I will align with Lamido because if this president really risked his life and resources to fight for democracy in Nigeria, and he's now the president, bastardizing the same democracy he claimed to be a hero for, I seriously doubt his narrative. Also, Lamido was secretary of Abiola's party. He might know better as an insider. Chairman, I will say it again, the only solution to Nigeria's predicament is to your tent, O Israel, which means regional rule. Vincent, aka Y from Mushin. All right, Lamido was secretary of Abiola's party. He might know better as an insider. If we're going with this rhetoric, with this narrative, or with this particular point of view, that would be, if this person was secretary of the party, he probably knew more than people who were from the outside looking in. Would you agree, Mr. Fanimo?
Well, I just said it earlier that he should know better because as a national secretary, he is like the clearinghouse of that political party at that time. So he should be able to tell us. But the point is, I don't know the insider workings of that party at that moment. And the man that said that I should fill in the gap, since I cannot fill in the gap, I think he has the right to call back to fill us.
All right, then let's take some of your comments on YouTube. The conversation continues via P903 FM on YouTube. You can actually check us out. We're streaming live right now via P903 FM on YouTube. Tochukwati LS says June 12 and the late MKO winning has become more of a problem than a celebration to Nigeria now. It should have been buried the way the military left it, but tribalism resurrected it. All right, let's go back to taking your calls. 0803 692 9933. Hello. How are you doing?
Hello,
good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name and location, please?
This is Olaiwola from Nijai.
Welcome, Olaiwola. Thank you for calling. Go ahead, please.
It still concerns Sule Lamido. We are trying to, some people want to dig something out of nothing.
Okay.
And we know that what is happened to Sule Lamido because they already formed alliance. They want to bring in a propaganda and the lie to tarnish the reputation of the president. So that is the way forward. Say, because of a Nadeko, because somebody called from London and making allegation because they are working with this guy. Those kind of information, those people have a document to back it up. If they have a mental health where they are before they even making a forward, it's something you are coming to the national radio and you don't have any document to even back it up.
So you believe all of this is an attempt to tarnish the president's image?
It's just an attempt to tarnish the reputation because you are the radio station, and I try to use this thing because some people make an offensive. Let them have a document. Let them back it up. Because these people are the public figure. If you are doing the journalism investigation and are making analysis in the radio station, go over and provide. When the Sule Lamido are making all this work, let him as the national secretary of the SDP, let him even produce one single document to the Nigeria document that I have there in 1993. And this is my backup. And this is how the thing works. He did not have any document, but they just come because of the government of the day, because you are playing tribalism. And if it is a USA now, they will detain him at the end of the day.
So you believe Sule Lamido is being tribalistic?
a big privatized. All these issues that are coming, they are just using it in front of election or to tarnish the reputation of somebody that is not even involving in the struggle of 1992 election. Did they have that mentality? Let me just, most of the journalists that I have a report about it, and they know the struggle of the man. Most of the people that are activists at that time, they know the name of the man, that this man is the front runner of all this. But now, because of their preparing to bring in one alliance to Nigeria that they want to bring at that come, that is where the issue of this man is not even among of those people.
So all of this for you is ahead of 2027.
They are not even because of 2027. And Sule Lamido that was saying as the secretary to the SDP, when they annoyed that election, where is in that time? Why he did not join all those protesters? Say this election is my party that I won it, I must protest. Where is Sule Lamido that time? And Sule Lamido later get appointment with all those military governments. Where is Sule Lamido after 1992? That is the question to ask.
Thank you.
What is the contribution did you have? What is the contribution you have to the National Assembly?
Thank you, Olayiwola. Thank you for your call. I do appreciate you. 0803-692-9933. That's the number you can call to be a part of the conversation. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chama.
What's your name and location, please?
Chama, how you doing now?
I'm great. How you doing?
Good. I love that. Chama, yes, we have accepted that Oga Tinubu are Democrats. We have accepted, yes. But what he's giving us today, does he tally with the Democrat? Does he tally with the Democrats? So that is the question we're asking. We're not saying he did not do this, he did not do that. He was the head of NEDECO, he was chairman of NEDECO, he sponsored. Yes, we agreed, no problem. But what you are giving us today is, did he tally with a Democrat? That is the question we're supposed to be asking. We are not saying he did not participate in the NEDECO or this, that. Give us the good governance. Give us good governance. Democrat. Let us talk. When we talk, you don't take us to police. You don't kill us. That is what we are saying. Let us have that temerity to talk, correct you, that you are not giving us the right governance. So that is what we are talking about. So let us leave the issue of whether it's among the NEDECO, among the people who pursue Abacha or the who do this and that. Let us forget about it. Let us correctly say, Mr. President, you are not giving us the right governance. And that's all. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you so much for your call. Much appreciated. 0803-692-9933. 17 minutes before 3 p.m. We'll have to leave very soon. So this is the time to make your opinion heard. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Oge. I'm calling from Akomedia.
Welcome to the conversation.
In fact, I support what you are doing there. You are doing a nice job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
At least giving the youth an insight of what happened and what they're supposed to do nowadays. I thank God for that man that called from London. He has said it to us. This government has failed. They have failed woefully. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your call. Short and straight to the point. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Hello.
Hello, Shama. Good afternoon.
How you doing? Welcome to the conversation.
I'm fine. This is Edward calling from Sandy.
Thank you, Edward. Go ahead, please.
You see, the problem we have is all those psychopaths. People who will know that this is the best way to run their own personal family. And when we are talking about Nigeria issue, they turn on other side. Bad supporter. Very evil and bad supporters. These are the people that are killing this government. Because the Tinubu supposed to know what to do. Many words of advice is coming. How many PS and how many SS that you have in his office? But instead of that, he's receiving bad advice. Look at even killings. Bloodshed in this country. That is enough for him to resign completely. So if we cannot get it right 2027, forget about Nigeria. So what he can do for Nigeria now is to give us electoral law that is existing, perfect one. Let him just do it before it come out. All this moving from one place to the other, defection, receiving people, that is irrelevant. Let him give us a good electoral law that can work for Nigeria. Electronic voting, that when we vote, it will be like what happened in Ghana. Let us see the good result. Not be parading wicked, parading this, parading that. That's nonsense.
Thank you.
That's
for
what
your
we
call.
can do now. Thank you.
Thank you for your call. I do appreciate you. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Hello. Hello, are you there? Welcome to the conversation. Good afternoon.
Yeah, sure, ma.
What's your name and location, please?
Yeah, that's Peter again from Sule.
Welcome, Peter. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I want to say, somebody was saying about propaganda because they want to form party and no. I didn't see any propaganda that was bigger than the hunger and the town now. So that what we consider that will prepare the election of 2027. The way situation is now, that's the only thing that will determine, not propaganda. Whether Sule Lamido is saying the truth or not saying the truth, that one has nothing to do with the consideration of what will happen in 2027. How the whole thing is hurting Nigerians now. Some of poverty and everything people are passing through. So the activity of the president doesn't show anybody who fought for democracy. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. The only thing, let us see 2027. Then what is happening now will determine what will happen in 2027. It's not a matter of propaganda or somebody who not lies or tribalism to spoil his government. No, nothing like that. The reality on ground is that nothing on ground to show that 2027 he will deserve it. That's the only thing we are looking at. Forget about whether he Nadeko man or not Nadeko man, he perform or we fight them for not fight you. That's not the issue now. The issue now is the reality on the ground. And Nigerians are in pain. So let him do something. If he doesn't do anything, that will determine whether he will take 2027 or not take 2027. So these are distractions.
Thank you for your call. I do appreciate it. 0803-692-9933. We'll take two more calls and then call it today. Or one more call. We only have space for one more call. Actually, one more call and we'll call it today. Your lucky last caller for the day. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Chama, good afternoon.
I'm doing great. What's your name and location, please?
It's Mazi Moriso, Koronom at Babangwa, aka Babangwa.
Welcome, Mazi.
Yeah, this is my first time. So what I want to talk now, thank God that I get you people now. I get this number now. So what I was talking now, and many people have been talking a lot of things, attending the election and this, that. That's not what we are going for. What is happening now before 2027? This is Ide Kiama that is there now. How many years will we be there? Come and remember the time where Obi Whiskey. If you are a small girl that time, I know. And they want to work, they don't want to mobilize. How many years they there? Obi Whiskey suffered a lot, and they pray make it complete that 4 years in Libya. This man now just 30 years there, and they are still keeping him there. Let they remove him, and they resolve INEC with this and the judiciary. That's if you want to, Nigeria will be good 2027, so that when another new president will come up, let you know what to do. They're killing people here and there. They are destroying Nigeria. A whole Nigeria, we get our independence. We are fair. Without any trouble for the whole world. See what we are suffering now because of politics and politicians. Thank you. That's my view now.
Thank you so much. Your final caller for the day. Thank you so much for calling. I do appreciate you at this moment. I want to take some of your messages on WhatsApp and then your comments on YouTube so that we can actually wrap up. Good afternoon, Chioma. I'm not surprised at Lamido Sule revelations against Tinubu. Remember many years ago, our Mustafa had hint Nigeria how he only respected the late Oba Oyekon, former Lagos monarch, the only one who did not betray MKO among his kinsmen. But every other person was speaking from both sides of the mouth. At the back, they support Abacha. In front of MKO, they supported MKO. The interview is there for everyone's consumption. Ezekiel from Ejigbo, VOP, good afternoon. Chioma, you should know that Olaiwala is an APC supporter, so he cannot agree. Beatrice from Itire. Okay, how you doing? Thank you so much. Those of you that still believe Nigeria will work, I beg who they motivate to now, they admire on our faith. Well, KK Gold. Believe say Nigeria go work. Good afternoon, Chama Innocent and Mr. Dele Fanimo. Thank you, Mr. Ogumbi. On Sule Lamido insinuation that President Tinubu is not part of the struggle, calling for the actualization of June 12 then, rather than he was among those that nailed it. I think we forgot that for now, and I think we should forget that for now and find a way to move forward. Before you know it, we'll have less than a year to the next election. INEC will not register any political party that fails to register less than a year to the election. Mr. Ogumbi from Idimo. Good afternoon, Chioma. Tinubu is not a Democrat. QED. He has F9 in governance and A1 in line. Now you marking script, Chioma. Daniel from Ikoton, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your message. I really appreciate this. Thank you so much. Now let's take some of your comments on YouTube just before we go. That was the real reason the PDP chose May 29 as Democracy Day, but the APC and all it comprises have remained ignorant of how to govern Nigeria. That's according to Tochukwu Adiele on YouTube. He goes on to say, shouldn't we listen to IBB then? If President Tinubu financed the radio Kudirat that Fayemi and co-operated, why did he not include Fayemi in his recent national honor list? Dele, until you answer these poses, you don't have monopoly of what transpired. You should rather listen to Sule Lamido. For us, Sule Lamido's narrative aligns with the fact that we have... well done, Chioma. Okay, thank you. The presidency's undemocratic practices is not an accusation. Thank you so much for your comment. I do appreciate it. James Manu says, James Manu, apologies for that. We're still getting some more messages on WhatsApp. Good afternoon, Chioma. No. No, you didn't even let me know your name. David from Ikpaja. You're wrong on this. From next year, prices of goods will start coming down. Chai, there was a country. Sheyi Kotz from Itiria. Sheyi Kotz, how you doing? Good afternoon. Great to hear from you. All right, we've gotten to the point where I have to say goodbye. Chai. Mr. Fanimo, you've heard what quite a number of people had to say about everything that we were discussing today. Thank you for staying up till now. Actually, I do appreciate that, Ned. I owe you a bottle of water. You know water is life.
Well.
But yes, your concluding thoughts and on the opinions and everything.
The media space is a marketplace of ideas
and information.
So I appreciate people that are called to air their views based on their perception and based on the facts available to them, and I don't hold anything against anybody. It's still work in progress. That is Nigeria. Nigeria is working in progress.
Mr. Fanima, Nigeria has been working in progress since 1960.
Well, we can't divorce.
Somebody that was born in 1960 is now an old man. How you'll be working in progress until when, Mr. Fanima?
I am telling you.
When a kid is like 1 year, 2 year, you understand that they are working in progress, right? You start to enter 25, 30, 40, 45. People at 40 is what?
I said work in progress, not working in progress.
I know. So work in progress, right? Since 1960.
Do you have
65 years.
Do you have any country?
And we are still in progress.
Well, we are praying that things will work well. I'm very, very optimistic.
Did other countries build by prayers? Did they build their institutions, build their democracy, build their economy by prayers? Why is it Nigerians that like to pray? We are always praying. Insecurity, we will pray. Inflation, we will pray. I mean, it's not that it's bad to pray, right? But you would think that the God that we're praying to has also given us, I think there's a part of the Bible where it says power to make wealth. God has given you sense, has given you brain to be able to do the things that are needed to actually make your life better. Are we not burdening God with all our constant prayers when he has actually given us everything that we need to have a better life?
I wish you find yourself in the position of authority and see how best you can try.
So you never know until you get there.
Yeah,
it's easy to easy to be on this side and criticize, right?
Sure.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fanimo. It's always a wonderful time whenever we get to have these conversations. Unfortunately, that is all we can take on today's episode of Matters. My name is Chioma Innocent. Thank you for riding with me. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for actually airing your opinions, your thoughts, and everything that we have discussed today. The truth is that the struggle continues. Like Mr. Dele Fanimo has said, Nigeria is a work in progress. Many of us would much prefer that Nigeria is much closer to the promised land, but it doesn't look that way. But one thing we'll continue to do right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM is to hold the government accountable in an unbiased manner, in a very objective manner, because that is the job of those of us in the media, right? We hold the government accountable. We tell them this is what the people are saying. This is how the people feel about your policies. Do better for your people so that when the people are praying, we can pray for our leaders and be happy while doing that. My name is Chioma Innocent. Till I come your way again next time with another edition of Matters. Do stay tuned. Funhouse Time with MC Chooks and Dr. Walkie Talkie comes up shortly. Thank you and have an amazing